Did you finish watching the Kamala Harris video I just sent you?
Which one? The Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
I think I've already seen the clip. Is it the one where she's talking about the coconut tree crap?
I don't know about that one. I don't remember nothing about a coconut tree, but I remember she was discussing, it was basically her gaffes. Oh, there you are.
There
Hey,
you go.
so what do you think about the new setup?
It's not bad. I do like the old Spotify one, the Spotify broadcast that we were using, but this isn't bad.
Yeah, well, that's gone, but hmm,
But this is probably better for the viewers on YouTube, though. So they get to have something to watch, I guess.
right. How does it
And
sound?
you can sounds pretty good. I can hear you pretty good.
Yeah. Can you see me okay?
Yeah, I can see you're all right.
Yeah. It said it just changed my microphone. I didn't know which microphone it switched to. So I was trying to figure out which one.
I didn't know it recorded your screen. I have a like a kick or like a tripod I could use to help set up to have like a better thing going for me. This is my gaming room, but I never use it.
Do you not have a stand? I thought I got you boys stands a while back.
I do. It's in the closet. It's not put together though.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this. Let's see. You had some topics you want to discuss. You were talking to me a while ago about the book 1900, The Last President.
This is something I wanted you to check out. I like I said, I started reading it the other day. One of my friends from work, he told me about it. He said it was talking about the last days of the U.S. or predicted to be the last days of the U.S. and it mentioned Barron Trump in there. And I thought it'd be something good for us to read and to discuss on the podcast once we read it. It's not that long. I also wanted to talk about uh, the Tim Walz pick for Kamala Harris and the Democrats for
Yeah.
their vice president, and I also wanted to talk about the JD Vance pick from Trump and what you think about that as well. And you wanted to go over Dogman and Bigfoot later on. If you sent me a couple of videos about that, so if that's what you want to do, we can discuss that as well.
Well, I can't seem to figure out how to screen share yet. So without me being able to screen share, I don't I don't know how to put the videos up for people to watch so that they can see what we're watching. Uh, Share it. I'm trying to figure this is all brand new. I'm trying to figure it out, and it's hard for me to. So this is kind of like a playing around and figuring it out all at the same time. But anyway, JD Vance, um, Marine, correct?
Yeah,
And
yeah, former Marine. He served 4 years active duty, and he went to law school after.
he seems to be, he's growing on me. I've heard a couple of his speeches, and he
Yeah,
is growing on me. He is not. He bothered me at first though because him and Lindsey Graham is like they said, rumored. Him and Lindsey Graham is two peas in a pod. Lindsey Graham is a war hawk. Lindsey Graham wants to go to war with everybody all the time. And with kids in the military, war is the last thing you want going on as a parent. Uh, I've always been an isolationist. I think we need to stay out of these other countries. I think we need to leave them alone.
a nationalist idea.
Huh?
You got the nationalist ideology is what you got.
Yeah, I am an isolationist and a nationalist. Uh, I think we should protect our country. I think we should have the biggest, baddest military on earth. I think we should leave everyone else alone, let them figure out their problems themselves. And if anybody messes with us, absolutely devastatingly crush them. No warning, no beating around the bush, no threatening. It's like the bully on the sidewalk. If they keep hollering, 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 and threatening you, you just walk over there and smash their knees with a baseball bat and be done with it. you know, that's my mindset on it. That's right or wrong. That's the way I look at things. I don't I don't want to see our young and the best that this country has to offer sent overseas to fight for bullcrap
Money,
wars. Yeah,
money,
money,
oil.
bullcrap wars. Yeah.
But it's I'll put it out this way, it being in the military, you can't really have too much of an online discussion about it. You can have your own opinions and everything like that. But I do want to say this about what I feel like being a nationalist and wanting to keep away for something like that, like away from war. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with not wanting war. And I don't think JD Vance is that kind of guy though. Um, you know, Warhawk or whatever, he was very anti-Trump in the start of his campaigning for Ohio representation. And that might have helped him got elected back in the day, but he came out and he said, Trump has grown on him. Like I'm sure Trump has grown on a lot of other Americans. You can sit here and think one thing about somebody, but your opinion can change later on. You know what I mean? I think JD Vance wouldn't have been my pick. We've talked about this before. I liked Vivek Ramaswamy, and you didn't like Vivek as what you probably wanted DeSantis over Vivek, but
No, I wanted RFK. I want him to pull RFK from an independent and put him in as, yeah. I would rather seen Rand Paul. Rand Paul would make a great
nobody would Rand Paul, man.
Rand Paul would make a great vice president.
He looks like a feminist.
Huh?
He looks like a feminist, Rand Paul.
Well, I've lost you.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're gone. There you are. I can just see your eyes. I can see your
sorry.
ceiling fan though.
Sorry, I was looking up something real quick. No, it's me personally, I thought Vivek would have been the better option. I do like RFK in the sense that he wants bipartisanship in politics. That's good to see. He cares about what the people think, and he wants to tell us the truth. He wants to tell us that the CIA is actually corrupt and that they actually killed his uncle. The problem is with RFK, they're not going to elect another. They're not going to elect another Kennedy. There's no way. They're not going to. They took RFK. They took his nomination away. He was getting a lot of support. They wouldn't even put him on the ballots, he said, in most states. It's like the thing was he wanted email, he wanted people to email him, he wanted people to sign petitions so they can put him on the ballots in certain states because he isn't getting the quote unquote support that he needs to be. Even for the presidential debate, he should have been on stage with them. With Trump and Biden. I feel like he would have done very well. And maybe in September, if Kamala Harris doesn't accept the terms and the dates and the conditions of the debates, I'm thinking Trump could just debate against RFK. And I feel like that would be nice. I think it pushed the Democratic Party outside, and that's where they need to be. I think they need to learn their place.
What if they could debate against every national presidential, every candidate? Yeah. What if they get all 6 of them or whatever it is up there? There's a lot more candidates running for president than just RFK and Trump and Kamala.
Oh my problem is it's not going to get the viewership.
No,
Kamala and Trump.
No, you're not even going to hear anything from those other people. You're never.
Well, they don't. Here's the thing. Who runs the media right now? Who's running the media?
Well, like 3 companies own all of them, or something like that.
Well, what party this NBC, ABC, or you got CNN. What party do these people promote?
Mostly the Democrats. Yeah.
And then you got Fox
MSN,
News and the conservatives,
ABC,
right? The
yeah,
Republicans.
and Newsmax is far more conservative than what Fox News is.
True. I do watch Newsmax sometimes. I've been watching a lot of Piers Morgan. He's kind of he has uncensored debates with liberals, conservatives, Democrats, Republicans all the time. He's went from far left to going more into the direction of the right because just to be honest with you, the left ain't doing nothing for them.
You're right.
They lie about their numbers. Your is your camera flashing on yours? It's flashing on mine.
No,
Okay. But anyway, it's
supporting.
but what I was trying to get at was the media thing, right? They're not going to push bipartisan libertarians onto the people as what they will the Democratic Party, right? There wasn't even a primary. They were like, oh, Joe Biden, he's the nominee because he was formed. He's president, right? He won the
Right.
last election. We're going to put him up on a pedestal. We're going to lie for this guy. After the debate, he proved that he is no longer capable of serving. Instead of having him step down, which they should have, instead of having the 25th Amendment thrown in his face saying kick him out the door, they were like, well, he's fit to serve right now, but will he be fit to serve in 4 more years? And that's what they're using as an excuse. And they're saying, oh, Joe Biden is such a outstanding guy. He's a hero for stepping down, knowing that he can no longer do this type of work. He's a public servant. He's given 50 years of his life for this trade. He's done nothing but steal from the people and lock people in jail. He's done nothing but make money from war.
Yeah.
He's not done nothing for the people. You know what he's done for the people?
Bankrupted us.
Bankrupt us. Yeah. Well,
He's bankrupted us. Yeah.
he's putting truckers out of jobs, and that's for sure, because truckers can't afford fuel.
No, and
He's
discussing
taking
that.
away food off our tables. He's not doing nothing for the people.
Right, right. That's what put us out of even rates right now are still bad. I was looking earlier at the rates because I've been trying to get a couple loads for like the weekends or something and run. And the rates are slowly coming up, but there's still people bidding down to like $1.68 a mile. How can anyone run for $1.68 a mile? You
You
can't.
can't. That won't even.
No.
Definitely. Your truck's gas though. Imagine
Right.
driving a diesel.
The same kind of truck as mine. You're looking at a difference in 3 miles per gallon,
Yeah.
except for like going out your way, like across the Rockies and all that. I talked to a guy that was pulling a camper the same size as the one I was pulling. He was getting 10 miles. He averaged 10 miles per gallon. That was uphill, downhill, sideways, whatever, flat ground, all through the Rockies. He made, through the Great Plains and through the Rockies, he got 10 miles per gallon. It didn't matter if he was going flat, up, down, what. Me going over, I got like 12 to 15. Going up, I got 4. But now in the flat plains, I do anywhere from 12 to 15, depending on what I run my RPMs at. So, overall, it averaged out,
Well,
I could gain in other places and I could lose in other places.
it's not even the fuel either, right? They're all pro electric cars.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard about the 2026 agenda, but Kamala Harris is saying that she will fully push towards a full electric grid and no more oil, no more burning, quote unquote, fossil fuels, what they like to call them, right? they they don't understand that the amount of money it's going to cost for us to go into a full electric grid, eh, even for something like that, the amount of money it's going to cost a normal citizen to purchase another vehicle, right? It trillions of dollars,
Yeah,
hundreds of trillions of dollars. Where's that money going to come from? Well, I mean, they're
they'll just
printing
print
it.
it. They'll print it, man.
Yeah, but
They'll
it's
just print
backed
it.
by nothing, and that's why our dollar is diminishing, is because there's nothing backing it.
Right. But they'll print it into oblivion. But see, this is why, and everyone thinks it's Democrats or it's this group or it's that group, that's anti-Trump or whatever. Yeah, my screen is flashing for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, okay. You remember when Trump went to Davos? I'm gonna play a little bit of this speech if I can find it. Okay, and that
All
way you
right.
can hear it. But when Trump went to Davos, they said, we got to get rid of this guy.
Yeah.
We cannot let him stay in as president. Klaus Schwab said he's got to go. What is Agenda 2030? Everybody has electric vehicles. No one
Yeah.
owns a home. No one owns a shirt. You have to rent your clothes. You rent everything in your house that you use, like your crock pots and everything, because you absolutely own nothing. And you're going to be happy and eat the crickets.
Yeah. Ride the buses to work, and you can
Ride the
charge your
bus to
phones.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And or get you an electric vehicle. And that's what they're pushing for. And they want everybody in 15-minute cities. And where everybody's making $20 an hour and you can't afford nothing. You know,
Yeah.
they want they want everybody making the same amount of money except for them. And they're going to be rich.
Well, I'll tell you this. You think it's the elites. I honestly think it's one party, right? Now there are, rhino Republicans and all this and that are far right extremist or whatever you want to call it. And there's far left extremists, of course. And I don't think it's one group of people who's dictating what happens this way or happens this way. Only because there wouldn't be a big switch in between each election, right? With this president, the economy was booming. With this president, the economy's on fire, right?
Right.
With this president, the illegal immigration problem is at a bare minimum. With this president, the amount of illegals entering the border is insane, and they want to turn them on to voters. It's too big, broad of a difference. Now, if it was right there in the middle, kind of like how a monarch would run it, right? They would almost brainwash you into thinking that, oh, this is going to be better for the people. Why are they trying to brainwash one thing and another thing on two different sets of people, right?
Well,
It's
here's the thing. They are looking for anyone in their parties, in either party, that will back their agenda. And I'll tell you who will do it. Dan Crenshaw. I know
yeah,
he's supposed to be a SEAL or whatever, but Dan Crenshaw is a World Economic Forum guy. He is not to be trusted. Uh,
you don't like Dan?
no, I do not.
Dan seems like a good guy, man. I think he
No,
does a pretty good job.
no, he's not. He is a World Economic Forum guy. The reason why all these agendas are being pushed, why they put Biden in there, is because Biden would push these agendas, and Trump told him no. And I can't find a recording of it, but
Is America great? America's great. Is everybody else great?
everyone's good. America's. I can't find it. I can't find the video without
No, it's all right.
Is open to misconceptions and biased interpretations. Therefore, it is so essential for us in the room to listen directly to you.
That wasn't it. I can't find exactly which one it is. I can find Trump's full speech. But anyway, during his full speech, he told them that here's part of it.
With U.S. companies and researchers leading the way, we are on the threshold of virtually unlimited reserves of energy, including from traditional fuels, LNG, clean coal, next generation nuclear power, and gas hydrate technologies. At the same time, I'm proud to report the United States is among the cleanest air and drinking water on earth. And we're going to keep it that way. And we just came out with a report that at this moment, it's the cleanest it's been in the last 40 years. We're committed to conserving the majesty of God's creation and the natural beauty of our world. Today, I'm pleased to announce the United States will join 1 Trillion Trees Initiative being launched here at the World Economic Forum. 1 trillion trees. This is not a time for pessimism. This is a time for optimism. Fear and doubt is not a good thought process, because this is a time for tremendous hope and joy and optimism and action. But to embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions of the apocalypse. These alarmists always demand the same thing: absolute power to dominate, transform, and control every aspect of our lives. We will never let radical socialists destroy our economy, wreck our country.
That was the speech.
Newly released outlet items are
That was the speech that got Donald Trump kicked out of the White House.
Well, because he's talking about clean, not even just clean energy, but oil, electric, and nuclear energy, and how that we don't need to concede to the climate activist, and to, you know, pretty much say, hey, we're okay with spending more money on fuel because there's less of it, because we're not pumping it ourselves, and just so the earth is greener. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they say there are record number heat index scales each and every year. But if you go back and look at last year's heat index, it's not any hotter than it was last year.
Oh,
It's no hotter than it was 10 years ago. They're
no.
lying to us, and people are believing their bull crap.
Yeah, it's no harder now than it was 30 years ago. Actually, I honestly believe when I was a kid, it was a little bit hotter. I really do. I believe it was a little bit hotter when I was a kid. I can remember 120-degree days out there in that tobacco patch, and it being so hot, I thought I was going to suffocate to death.
and they can say whatever they want, but and they come back with saying, hey, we have extreme weather going on, extreme hurricanes, extreme tornadoes, and extreme rainfalls, and this and that. We can create that stuff now. We can cloud seed and cause it to rain. It's like,
Yep.
what they're doing this stuff to make it look like the weather is worse than what it is, so they can push their agenda onto people. They can sit here and tell you that, hey, it's record number heat outside because it is hot. But guess what? It's no hotter than what it was. I mean, from as far as I can remember, man, it's been hot in the summer.
Yeah,
It's been cold in the winter. Nothing's changed.
nothing's changed. No. Do you know who first introduced weather warfare or started speaking about it?
What, the Europeans? Won't surprise me there.
No. Try again.
Australians.
I want to show you something.
Could be the Egyptians. I mean, I don't know.
No. This is from 1961.
We shall propose a global system of satellites for control.
System of satellites stop natural disaster. Using it to
What is that, mad?
That's the wrong
That's
one.
mad.
That's
Are you talking about? Are you
There it
talking about the
Hang on.
Can't hear it.
Mr. President. It's taken some interest in the election of presidents. I want to congratulate you on your election to this high office.
Oh, this is a 20-minute
Secretary
speech.
General.
That's not the one I'm looking for either.
But anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about. We were talking about what has the Biden administration done for this country to where people are going to blindly support it no matter what.
Right. Well, here,
Right?
I found the clip. Let me play it real quick.
We shall propose a global.
No, that's not it either. It's always this stupid movie thing. Every time I try to click on it. But anyway, in 1961, JFK introduced the thought.
Your sound cut out. Your sound cut out. Your sound cut out. Your mic's muted. Anyway,
Okay, try this. It's a different.
there you go. It's working.
Anyway, JFK in 1961 said, we can control the weather, and warfare of the future will be whoever can control the weather." When they went into Vietnam, they tried to make a monsoon and wash them out, right? Well,
Yeah.
it backfired, and it rained and rained and rained and rained, and they couldn't stop it. It rained forever, and that was one of the first instances of conspiracy theorists saying that we tried to manipulate the weather when we sent them into Vietnam.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm back.
Good mic back on. I guess
Yeah.
they didn't want me saying that. But anyway, they used this weather warfare, and they created a huge monsoon that, like, they was trying to drown out the Vietnamese is what they were trying to do, and it just washed everything away, drowned out our troops. It bottled us down to where we couldn't fight. Tanks were getting stuck in the mud. I mean, it's just terrible. But anyway, yeah, they're pushing these agendas. They want to get rid of cattle. They've already started now trying to make farmers RFD tag their cattle, and they're going to look what they're doing in European countries. The World Economic Forum has forced this, like in Norway and those countries. They go in there and they're killing all their cows. They either got to get rid of them, or they go in there and forcefully kill them. You know, they can do that because they don't have no guns.
Well, we're gonna talk about the how they're ran as a socialist ideology over there. How they do have a backing, a funding backing or whatever, but it's mostly. But anyway, it's all about control, right? That's all it's about.
We got 9 minutes left. We got 9 minutes left on the timer. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
So what do you think about the Kamala Harris pick?
For Tampon Tim?
Yeah.
Terrible. I mean, I guess he's good for her, but it's terrible. It's hopefully it wins us the election, to be honest with you. I'm setting the timer for 9 minutes. Hopefully it wins us the election.
It went from Josh Shapiro, which is a Jew, right? They didn't select him because he's a Jew. Let's just be honest. They don't want the pro-Hamas voters to vote for somebody like Trump or RFK. So instead of going with somebody who may have better policy, who isn't such a failure and doesn't lie about his military background, and Tim Walz, they decided to go with Tim, not only because he's a far left extremist, but he's also not a Jew.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I'm not worried about someone's religion. I mean, if they're a Muslim, that bothers me, them being a president, or if they're a Satanist, that bothers me about them being president. But, as far as either, someone Catholic or Christian or even atheist, even, that doesn't really bother me, or Jewish doesn't bother me. But you got to watch out. But I mean, now let's just get down to the facts, though. I mean, Jews are just as bad as Muslims for wanting to eradicate everybody that doesn't believe like them. I mean, they say they like Christians, but they really don't like Christians.
No.
They make a lot of money off Christians and tourism, but
Yep.
they don't really like Christians.
Well, I mean, you look at Israel too. They don't even follow they don't even follow the religion as what they used to as well. Israel has the gayest city in the world, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you got to think about it. No matter what they say they are, they might be they might be like race wise Jewish, but when it comes to religion, they don't act like Jews. They don't act like Christians. They don't act like Muslims. They're just normal people. Race doesn't play a factor, but the whole Gaza Strip war and all that kind of stuff it's ridiculous. It is what it is.
I don't think everybody knows all the facts about it, and I don't think we ever will. This is the only thing that gets me about the whole ordeal. 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks before the whole strike, terrorist attack on them happened, Netanyahu was laying out plans how he was going to, virtually, level the entire Gaza Strip and rebuild it with, this all new infrastructure and all new this and all new that, like basically make it look like a resort. And they asked him a question, well, what are you going to do? How are you ever going to do that with all the Palestinians there? And he just smirked. He just got quiet and smirked. Now you can't hardly find that video anywhere. But there was a lot of people talking about it when the attack happened. I've heard many people that's been over there, and I watched a lot of people that were over there that were critical of Netanyahu over this. They
Yeah.
said, not so much as a bird could get near that fence without having a massive response. So how did 1,000 or whatever terrorists sneak through and do the atrocities that they did without them knowing, in advance? They just didn't buy it that it was a sneak attack. And, he called it their 9/11. And if it was their 9/11, we know now 9/11 was an inside job. But at the time, no one thought that it was an inside job. Everybody was ready to go fight. We had pro football players leaving, NFL
The NFL.
contracts, making millions of dollars to go fight.
Yep.
Everybody, we was mad. America was mad. We was going to wipe the Middle East off the face of the earth. Over 9/11. And now when you sit back and you look at all the evidence, oh crap, we were fooled. So did Netanyahu say that this Gaza Strip attack was their 9/11? Was it an inside job? What was it? I mean, who knows? The thing is, we've been lied to so much we don't know what to believe.
Well, it's disgusting behavior, no matter what it was. I mean, they were raping women and killing children and kidnapping them all, and it was disgusting. Inside job or not, I don't know. I'm not looked too much into it, but all I know is it was disgusting.
And
But
Israel's done the same thing too since.
Yep.
The Israeli soldiers have done the same things too. There's a big ordeal about it right now. Israeli soldiers cutting babies out of bellies and raping them and everything else. So,
but I'll say this: I think Kamala Harris's VP pick will help will help Trump get elected probably, And honestly, it does depend on who RFK picks. Cause RFK still in this race. I don't care what people say. They might just say it's Kamala and Trump. I think RFK has a higher chance of beating Trump than what Kamala does.
He does. He does have a higher chance of beating. The problem with RFK even being in the race without Trump picking him as his VP is he's going to pull voters from Trump and possibly going to put Kamala back in the White House. And
That is
that's
true.
the same thing that happened with Ron Paul when Ron Paul ran against Bush and Clinton.
Yep.
Ron Paul pulled enough votes from Bush that got Clinton elected.
Yep.
And I'm afraid that's what's going to happen this time.
We'll just have to wait and see. Election is in November.
Yep.
So
We got 2
got
minutes.
plenty of time.
2 minutes. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I think America really needs to get its crap straight. I think we need to focus more on our economy and stop funding all these other countries. What about you?
Yeah, I think all the trillions that or billions that we've sent to Ukraine, I reckon they're striking inside of Russia now. I reckon they're 20
That's what they
miles
said. They said
inside
they
of
went
Russia.
into. They said they've made gains into Russia, but I don't know how much I believe that crap.
I don't think they can hold it. They're in the same place that Hitler got beat. Hitler went in there with 1 million men, and he couldn't hold what.
Let's just be
Arabs
honest. Russia's toying with them.
Yes.
Russia has drained their economy.
Yep.
After this war is over with and we stop sending their money, Ukraine will collapse.
Oh yeah.
Unless somebody backs them, Ukraine will collapse. Nobody's talking about this. Nobody wants to talk about this, but it's the truth. Ukraine will never be able to stand on its own again after this war. What?
Well, down to the last minute. We'll try to do this again very soon.
Monday night, Tuesday night, if you're free.
Every night we can. We'll try to put out a video. Try to get
Hey,
the hang of
how
this
long?
new setup.
I could keep going. Do you want to end it?
I have to. We end in just a few seconds. Our time's
Well,
up.
thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you all. Please like and subscribe.